Alright, we're live. Hello all, hello world. This is day 113. I hope I got the number right. Let's see. It looks like you got it correct. Yeah, day 113 of studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. Last time we implemented 2 more tilings for the LEA instruction. This time I'm going to just keep working down the list. Yeah, so this one we did before, these 2 we did last time. I think the one that I will try to target here is this one, which is just like triple addition pretty much. Something else I was thinking about is maybe just like, even a simple like 2 register addition with just LEA could be interesting as well. Yeah, I'd have to think about like, I guess it doesn't hurt to just throw in here. So I'll just throw that there. And then there were a couple of other tilings that I was thinking about. So the tiling for the free move, yeah. Because I was watching Godbolt's advent of compiler optimization stuff, and I didn't know that LEA was used for just straight up register addition. So that's pretty cool. I guess like it makes sense, but also it's like, wow. What? Okay. What else did I want to do? I wanted to do 6 as well, which was, or we have, how did he do, let's look at some compiler output. Let's do 01. We'll just do that. Actually, we don't even need that. Oh, what's good, Naj? Good to see you. I am throwing more test output at Godbolt. Yeah, okay. So we double and then we multiply. Yeah, okay. Or we double and then we multiply by 3. What's good, Mortal Bagot? I am working on a compiler from C to x86-64, and largely trying to re-implement a lot of existing compiler infrastructure. Right now I'm working on the backend, so specifically instruction selection. I want to focus more on the optimizer, but I need to get to a point where I like generate code. So there is a decent portion of that required at least. Okay, 6 is times 2 times 3. What is 7? Oh, times 8 minus 1. I guess that makes sense. What happens if this is like, what if this is a long? Or I guess long. Okay, well, interesting. I guess that is something we could do. All of the pile down here at least is just like the special multiplies. We'll just see which ones I can get away with implementing. Those I know I can do for sure. Oh, that's good, Skills. Good to see you. So 1 is trivial, or I guess we can do reg times. We should just, this is stupid. We should just, actually, yeah, we can just do that. So let's pencil in the easy ones here. 3 is the same as 2, but reg plus itself times 2. We can do something similar for 5, I believe. 5 and 9. Yeah. 5, 9. Huzzah. Okay. Reg plus reg may be better for 2. That's real, actually. Yeah. Okay. I'll tell that separately, I think. We can do this as well. And then what was 6 again? This is... we can do reg plus reg, and then... we can do... reg plus reg times 2. I guess, yeah. We could do that like that. Okay. What was 7 again? It was reg... oh, I forgot to change this. Do that, and then reg minus... oh, we'll just do that. I think that's what they did for 7, right? Yeah, okay. Oh wait, this is a thing? Wait. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Oh, what does it do beyond? So 10, it doubles and 5. Wow, okay. So then what does it do for 11? Does it just give up? No? Okay, this is quite aggressive actually. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. How do I even generalize this? Let's give it like 20. Wow, okay. Okay, I might not be able to compete here, I fear. There's a little bit too much for me to... too much to generalize. Huh. What do I even do here? Like, what is the best way to generalize this? I think like 7 is kind of awkward. I could get away. I could be happy not doing that one. Like 1 through 6, and then 8 and 9. I think are ones I will do for a fact. I think I've already accounted for them up here. Or I guess down here. Ah. Okay. We could cover 1 and 2 as their own sort of grouping here. Just external to LEA. That could be an interesting thing. What else could we do here? I don't know. I'm overthinking this. I'll start with these, I guess. I guess the other question I have is, how does this handle negative numbers? Okay, that one's kind of obvious. Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, okay. That, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we just negate it after is what we do, which, fair enough, sure. Studying assembly today. I like writing assembly first because then when it goes to DSA, it'll feel amazing. That's so real, yeah. I feel like I spent too much time working with like real programming or like human readable programming languages. Uh, like I feel like my brain's like atrophying a little almost. Okay. Sorry, wait. I'm looking at this again. We have like for 7 there was a this is just index and scale. This is no base or displacement. What happens if it's Intel? Yeah, okay. Interesting. So that is something we can generate actually. That's pretty funny. Okay, so real quick, since we can generate that, I might want to change the way I print things. I guess that makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, let's change that real quick. This should just live here. Or wait, no. The printing is no, it's in 2-string. Okay. Okay, let's pull up the x86-64 addressing big blog post. What's good, eShot? Good to see you. Okay. I guess none of this helps with like. That's like. AT&T. Assembly. Oh yeah, I guess the empty in front of the comma. Yeah, the more I read this, the more upset I am that that I'm not reading Intel. This does not help me. Perhaps there's something here? R is a constant. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I guess that makes sense. We could do that. Interesting. I don't know, is there like a good reference for this anywhere? I feel like this is not helping right now, or like in terms of what I'm looking for. AT&T assembly addressing address format. I looked this up before. Because I saw that prepended comma. What are the rules for that, I guess? This is not helpful. Wiki books. Ah. Okay. Surely there's something here. Ah, yes, T. What's the advantage? Just wake up to work on a project and you should. No, not scroll. That's good stuff. Yeah. Time to lock in. So what is it? So if we omit base, then we just have a comma, I guess. Comma index, comma scale. And then there's no world where we omit index. Right. Or omit index and have base. What's good, H-man? Example and with base and no index right there. Yeah, that's fine. Or base, no index, yes scale, I guess. Doesn't make sense to me. So how do I print this properly? Or into emulation and stuff? Not really. I haven't, or at least like in terms of like writing emulators, I haven't looked into it a lot. I'd like to avoid assembly proper as much as possible, but well, I'm doing compiler stuff, so it's a little inevitable. Okay, we could just let's just print this regardless, if we're printing index. Right, does this seem reasonable? This handles, So then we don't handle like scale only. But we could also just not generate that and call it a day. It's like scale only is a thing, apparently. Right? Let me pull up the big reference again. Just casually scrolling up. Yeah, the crazy comma 1. I swear there was that. Just scale. Or is that just displaced? This does not bring me joy. Alright, let's just click on one of these. Let's go to there. Index. Surely there's something useful here that I can look at. Operator encoding can express different scales without index, but I don't see any point. That makes sense, yeah. I guess we could just like not generate that and call it a day, honestly. Yeah, the play might just be to stick that into displacement. I don't know, yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll just do that, I think. That might be the smart thing to do. Yeah, okay. Is there... What is... Oh no. Okay, this file again. Let's just run away from our problems instead of facing them head on. Day first year of learning how to code. Found a niche for someone in law, cyber law and tech laws. Yeah, that seems like a pretty reasonable place to look. I initially wanted to do law stuff as a CS major actually. And I decided to go into software engineering proper for like various different reasons, but I guess one other place you could think about is maybe like law pertaining to like just like generative AI related stuff or like patent law, because I imagine there's gonna be a mess related to that at some point. Operating coding table, good comms. Let me take a look. Okay, let's not burn my eyes first. Okay, how do I go about reading this? Oh, I see. Do I see? I don't know if I see. Top side is register operand. Left column for the other operand, which can be memory. CS50L. Wow. So much stuff. Shout out E. SIB links to encodings with index. Oh, I see. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then, oh, I see now. Okay, I guess this makes sense. Okay. Okay, alright. Okay, let's... this is a good reference. I will keep this around. As in, I will reference it in the Discord whenever I need it. Regardless, I think this is a solid pile here, so I guess we can work with this. So make give it a second. I need to solve this double build. This double build thing. Alright, let's run. Alright. Huh. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that looks more reasonable. No base. Instruction encoding and decoding. Ooh, fun stuff. I don't think I've ever formally thought about that at any point, to be honest. Okay, so this is not what I'm looking for. I guess this makes sense, but I've never thought about this before. Interesting. I wonder what this website says about it. Okay, this is no longer interesting to me. Okay, anyway. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do more tiles. Let's do more tiles. Let's throw more tiles at this. Maybe in the future I could do like Tile Tuesday and like Tile Thursday or something. I don't know. That could be funny. And then Operation O Monday and Operation O or Optimization O Friday. And then just Wednesday with no specification beyond. Okay. So let's start with this basic one. So this, or no, we were gonna do the annoying one here. So it's, yeah. We'll just move this up here real quick so I have everything together. Okay, let's match this one. So this is what? Base, index, and displacement, I think? Are you in school? Yes. I'm finishing my undergrad degree and starting my master's this quarter, which is, well, almost over, but yeah. Okay, so we can steal that. So we don't care about scale here. Which, as in, we will generate a 1, at least, for this. Alright, let's go with musters, thank you. Oh, Insomnia Cookie, oh, anyway. Okay, this makes sense, we don't care about storing scale. I'm gonna need to do some, I need to do some tricky, I guess, commuting here. I guess we can just copy paste. What could go wrong? Actually, no. Copy paste here is rather troll. I'm not sure what the best way to organize these is. I'll probably just, I think I'll put this here maybe instead. Alright, or yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we're doing it in like component order almost. Given MIPS fields, and I have to give the binary representation instruction. I see. I don't think I ever had to do that. That sounds annoying. Like, I think we had to like buffer overflow something, but that was about as into the weeds of assembly as we got, I'm fairly sure. Okay. So we can steal this stuff real quick. Where am I? I got lost. This is bin op. BIS, so we want space here. Oh, what the? That's a thing? Wait, control. What did I do? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so we can do that. Constructor is constructor. This match we'll figure out in a second. Apply should be easy. We can just kind of steal this code. Windows period. Oh, interesting. That's rather funny. What happens if I click a GIF? Okay, cool. Anyways, nothing happened, which, yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense, but lol. So that means I could use emojis as variable names, right? I could do that in theory. That could be something funny. What's wrong here? Oh, I pasted this in the wrong function. That's why. Okay. The scale should be 1. It should be tile displacement. Was your assembly class exam based? So it's kind of funny because we have like 2 different assembly classes. The CE students take one that's all in ARM, and it's just like exclusively assembly. And then like the CS students take like a general like intro to systems sort of class, and like the first half of it is like x86. So like they were both both of the classes were both exam and project based. So we had like a couple of labs. In the CS one we had 2 exams, and then we had like 4 labs, and then we had like a couple of like written homeworks for like doing some address math by hand, but that's like whatever. The labs are like pretty standard ones. Like if you've seen like bomb lab or like attack lab before, where like bomb lab I'm fairly sure you've heard of. Attack lab you do some buffer overflows, and it's pretty fun. And then in the CE one we made games with like an ARM emulator. It was pretty cool actually. I enjoyed that one. I wish I had tried a little bit harder on that one. I could have done so much more. Oh wait, no, not 0. That one's 1. That one's 1. That one's 1. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. So this apply is pretty simple. So now we just need to match, which is less simple. I need to draw this out. Usually 3 AM, so I watch streams in the morning, but was reading some lectures and got carried away. That's fair, yeah. It happens sometimes. Hopefully this is like a good way to like unwind after everything. Okay, so we're matching reg immediate 3 additions. So we can represent this in a couple ways. So there's reg here, and then there's plus, and then reg, and then, alright, this one is immediate, or I guess 1, 2, 4, 8, right? Or no, this is just straight up immediate. So that's one way, and then we like do all of the commutes, I guess. And then the other case I'm worried about is if the immediate is up here. Yeah, this will be a little bit sloppy, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And this is just 2 regs, which we do not need to worry about commuting. I'm gonna pass out. Good luck. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Getting rid of assembly at my school. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. I feel like the average student only needs, or the average student doesn't need like a whole class worth of time dedicated to it. I think they just need to be able to like read it and be able to like, I guess, have the tools to learn about it. I think it fits well into like an intro to systems sort of class. Okay, so how many combinations are there here? There's 8 here, there's 4 here. So we have 12, which I guess 4? 2. Wait, 8? Wait, no. 4 plus 2. Yeah. This is, for my reference, this is reg immediate. Okay. Yeah, there's another way we could have arrived at this answer, which is, yeah, just all of the, so there's like 3 places you can put immediate here, and then there's 2 ways to associate each of them. So that's 3 times 2 is 6. So yeah, okay. We can generate 6 test cases, I think. It'd be really cool if I actually did the tests first, sort of like what LLVM wants. That could be funny. Actually, I'm gonna do that. Because then we can also see the test diff, which is really cool. Okay, so BIS. This is base instruction displacement. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, let's try that again. Let's give it like a weird number. Let's give it like 13. So base. So we can do that. And add that there. And then, yeah, I think I want to explicitly reassociate these. I forgot which way. My parser, I think, it should evaluate left to right if it's done correctly. So we can just do like this. Right? Yeah, surely this is like correct test generation. I understand wanting us to grasp the basics and understanding how things work at a lower level, but a whole semester is. Oh wait, you're on semester, huh? Yeah, that's even more time then. Wow. I already thought like a quarter. I thought like a quarter was excessive. I feel like 2/3 of a quarter is enough. So like even like half a semester probably would be approximately equivalent. Or like even just like enough insofar as just being able to like read assembly, I think. I don't think you need to like know the ins and outs of it. I think you just need to like know enough to be able to read it for the most part. Let's run test regression. I should rename generate regression test to just be something shorter. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah, that vomits out what we wanted to. What made you like compilers the most? I took a class and that's kind of how I got into it, but I think what's kept me sticking around is that it like ties so many different areas of computer science together. Like, the most obvious two are like programming languages and like systems related stuff, which, well, you're going from like high level code to like low level code, so that's like a given. But maintaining compilers and making them like efficient pieces of software also involves some extra fields that you might not think about. Like the optimizer stuff and a bunch of other stuff that happens in the backend requires a lot of like theoretical CS, which is like I guess like more theory or like more of the mathy algorithms-y side of computer science. And then like writing software that doesn't suck, because compilers are just massive messes of code. That requires a lot of like software design. And I think like those four are pretty much the parts of computer science I like the most. So it's kind of a no-brainer that compilers are cool to me. Tokens and ASTs and all that reminds me of LLMs. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's all, I guess like programming languages is not really that much different from like a lot of like language model related stuff, because both are trying to like model some form of like textual syntax. So it makes a lot of sense. It's pretty interesting to think about parallels between the two. Okay, how do I match this? Wait. Git restore stage source. Pre-commit tests for BID. Huzzah. Listen to music most of the time while programming? Yes, but I honestly don't really care what type of music it is. I only care about it insofar as it's like background noise. I've also been told that my streams are like low-key just me staring at code if there's nothing playing, so it's also for y'all as well. But it doesn't affect me whatsoever. Here, go to LLM. ChatGPT just because, well, it's worked. Gemini works when ChatGPT doesn't though. I find Gemini honestly increasingly helpful to me. I feel like I understand I feel like I can like get the output I want from the two, at least, more than the rest of the LLMs that I've messed around with. But DeepSeek did come in clutch at a hackathon once. So that is also that is also one of the LLMs that I am noting here. And Claude is also like good for like generating code, but yeah. Google's trying to crack 10 million context window. Yeah, that is quite. That does seem quite substantial, yeah. I imagine just like you can just get what you want faster, even if it's like, I guess like usually when you're fighting with an LLM, it's just because like you're not really like reading what you particularly want from it. One shot LLVM, yeah. Honestly, I feel like LLVM stuff is pretty well indexed into like ChatGPT anyway, so it's been helpful in explaining it for me at least. Have you looked into ML compilers before? Yes. I do not know enough about them to really say a lot more or even begin to build one, but could be interesting. Okay, how do we match this? So we start with the generic thing that we always start with. Let's start with that. Let's steal that. Paste that here. Let's look at the destination. We check that it's an ad. We just want to make sure. We just want to make sure they aren't both immediates. So if not that. Yeah. Actually, let's yank that line real quick. Then we can kind of copy stuff from where? I think it was here, yeah. It was like this thing. But we don't need to do the weird match scale displacement thing. We can get a little bit cleaner with it, I'm fairly sure. we steal displacement. We get source. Okay, yeah. So we get inner reg. So this case, the case we're matching here is this one. So we just need to check that both are reg, I guess. That's really nice. As if not either of these, we return false. And then we can just set one of these, I think. So we can just like cal base equals inner left, and then we can like scale is inner right, I guess. And then we can just return true, right? Or not scale, displacement, or index. Had to think for a second. Otherwise we need to handle the other case. Caching context for LLMs sounds cool. Yeah, I have not thought too much about LLMs, full disclosure. I've mostly, or at least not beyond like the class that I took this quarter about like deep learning stuff. Okay. This tile is actually quite annoying. Anything where there is just an immediate displacement is really annoying, actually. Because then you have to like filter that one out pretty much. So a lot of the logic here, when there is a displacement to worry about, is kind of just trying to figure out where the displacement lives, and then everything else kind of falls into place around that. Base and index are just registers pretty much you can attach to something. Actually, we could just, can we just set tile base and tile index directly here? Did I do that anywhere? I feel like I would have done that somewhere here. Oh yeah, I do that like here, yeah. Okay, let's clean that up real quick. So we can just do that. Index. And we can, if not tile base, then is this, wait, did I do this correctly? Yes. Or, we don't need the braces there. Index. Huzzah, okay. Okay, cool. Back in my day, we had a class on neural networks but no deep learning. We focused on 3 layers, that's crazy, yeah. It's crazy that like 100 layers used to be like a big number, and now that's like, that is like bottom of, that is like, I guess, the bare minimum almost, it feels like, in these models that we see nowadays that are mainstreamish. Coffee drinker, no. Surprisingly, I'm largely uncaffeinated. I do occasionally down a Monster, but that's about it. Or I guess I get caffeine from soda. Like, okay, cool. But does that really count? I don't think that really counts. Where do you get your dopamine? That is a good question, actually. I don't know where I get my dopamine. That's kind of concerning, actually, because it's getting quite dark outside quite early. Like seasonal depression is like a real thing, so yeah, stay tuned on how that goes. Yeah, jokes aside, I think talking to people in general and like streaming helps significantly, because with streams I always have something to look forward to every day. Golfing's a cool name. Thank you. When I was in first grade, I thought I was really good at golfing, and then in fourth grade, I switched to playing tennis. So, yeah, I played myself there, but you know, so it goes. Okay, let's not steal that. Let's just steal all of this stuff real quick. College student? Yes. So how do I do this? So we only care if one of them is an op, I guess. So I guess we could do... yeah, we could keep this match double reg thing, actually. I mean, we could take... Instead of an op node, we can take a register node. Op group, and then... Yeah, and this is like the commute it. This is the way we're gonna commute it, I think. Stupid web dev? I feel that, yeah. I was in that boat for a while, and then I realized I didn't want to do it, and so I stopped. Actually, I think the way I did it before was pretty sensible. Or at least keeping it like this. So we get source and then we get the ops. Yeah, so we get the ops. And we can pass in the op group. And then I could definitely write code that does some code reuse, but it might not work that easily. Oh, this class is probably like 1% for you. That's what I thought, and then it turns out writing virtual memory is really, really difficult. I still get kicked around and tossed like a sandbag when it comes to like writing C code, because, well, I just have not looked at a lot of C code, which is really surprising given the stuff I'm doing right now. But all the C code I look at is like all the simple stuff. So, yeah. It's a common sense answer to why network requests are expensive. Cause it's, what do you mean by expensive there? Like, on the client side, or like network-wise broadly? I guess the answer to both is that they're slow, but I imagine that's not the degree of specificity you want. Or I guess it's a little shallow. Kind of where the mouse should just avoid them when you can? Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like, if you think about latency in terms of like the system, network requests are like orders of magnitude above just like even like just reading from memory, honestly. There's a lot more latency involved, I think. So you would have to, I could be wrong about the scale, but it is objectively slower than reading from memory, I'm fairly sure. So in that sense, you would want to avoid them because, well, reading from memory is already considered really slow. So a network request is way slower than just being really slow. Third time I'm going to be retaking it next semester. Damn, that's rough. Yeah, you got it. I guess, I feel like retaking classes, I guess as long as you like learn, if you like remember the stuff that you did well on, you can just continually build up until you get to a point where you just know everything. And also, like, it's hard to write OS code. Like, that's why people don't become OS devs. Or, people do, but only the cracked people do, at least. Okay, let me finish tackling this logic. Okay. So we match the add. So we've matched this. Let's use a different color. This, we should just cast to... Oh, wait, no. We're matching this, actually. We can do that. And then I'm gonna cast it immediate. If not... what am I XORing here again? So it fails if... oh, wait, I see. So this is the not XOR, I guess. What is the inverted XOR called? What is inverted XOR called? Or inverse of XOR? This does not help me. I don't know. I guess the inverse of XOR is XOR, which makes sense, but like... you get what I mean. XNOR, yes. Yes, XNOR is perfect. I don't know what the right C code to write is, and it's like 1 week to learn Mandarin. Yeah. It's all rough, but you got it. Do you like anime? I think it's cool. I haven't gotten around to watching a lot of it. Actually, what we could do here is we could just set base off the rip here, and then we can just like stick the other one into index. Doesn't matter which register is which in base and index here, I guess. I guess not, right? Surely. Do you think writing or reading code helps pick up a language faster? I mean, I don't really think there's that much of a difference there. Like, if you're writing code from scratch, you'll probably be reading a lot of code to figure out what you're doing. And like, if you're reading code, then you're probably reading it with the intent to like write it anyway. So like, you'll probably be doing both. I guess in that sense, like, writing code helps because that inherently requires a lot of reading code. But also reading code helps more when you're like familiar with the language, I think, and you can like learn more about like the correct way to do things in air quotes. I think I would start by writing a lot of code and then like reading code to see if there's a better way to do things. Yeah, okay, am I in the right place? I'm in the right place. This is BID. So let's set base off the rip here. Actually, no, we can't set it like this, actually. Right. We need to set it in here, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, we can just set it at the bottom, I think. So we want to not do this thing. So one of these needs to be an immediate. So that immediate will be displacement, and then we have the other child, which should be a register. I think we've guaranteed that it's a register at this point. Yeah, because we're static casting, so we know that. So then we don't even need this double if thing. We can just hit it with the like other child. So we have other child and then we have reg node. So we tile base equals other child tile index equals reg node. And then we return true. Yeah, okay, that looks correct to me. And then we just do it both ways and we call it a day. That looks pretty solid to me. Yeah, okay. What helps you never have the thought of what's the point of doing this? I don't know. I just find the process of learning really fun. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just like, it feels like I'm not competing against other people, but I'm competing against like the previous version of myself. And I think just like thinking like that, I think helps a lot in general, just with like goal setting as well. Like it's like climbing like a giant hill, right? And like, it feels like crap halfway through, but then like you turn back and you're like, wow, I've gone this far. The view here is quite nice. And like that keeps you going, because then you're like, well, it's gonna be even better once I get to the top. And I think I take a similar approach to that with learning and like, by extension, writing code, at least. Okay, let's throw this ASCII art here because I like ASCII art. So this is... Wait, did I do this correctly? I think I did do this correctly. So this is a register, and then we have a immediate somewhere in here. I guess we could just throw the immediate here, maybe, and call it a day. Finding out I can't do while true in C. Oh yeah. Yeah, that doesn't work because it turns out you have to import Boolean. I think that's why it doesn't work. Let's see. Okay, well, so this is really awkward. Interesting. Yeah, you have to like import Boolean, it's really funny. What helped you instill these ideas and values the most? I think like, I just had a lot of good mentors growing up, honestly. There's not really much else of an interesting answer. I didn't like go on a spiritual journey or anything. I just had a lot of people that taught me how to deal with setbacks growing up, and I'm really thankful for it. Wow, integer bigger than 0, then subtract. Yeah, that does work. I really enjoy while 1. I don't know why. It's just really funny to me. Okay. Do I do all the reorderings here? Yeah, this handles one ordering, this handles the other. Define true 1 is so funny. You ever seen someone define true as false and false as true before? I would enjoy doing that to Nuka code base. That'd be pretty funny. Anyway. Oh, I need to add the tile. That's what I forgot to do. Okay, this is triple addition, so I should probably put this below those two. So BID tile. Super Saiyan form of human RL is that, yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually, yeah. That's kind of how I think about it, at least. A lot of my learning I kind of think of in like machine learning terms now. Like when you work through like practice problems, that's like, or like work through like examples in lecture, that's like the training set, and like when you take like a practice exam, that's like your like test set. True equals -1 with the Boolean being a 1-bit signed integer. That's pretty funny actually. Yeah, that's quite incredible. I don't know if I like that or dislike that. I think I slightly lean towards like that. Okay. Okay, regenerate LEAs now. That's perfect. It looks like it does what we want it to, I guess, which makes sense. I don't think the order in here particularly matters. I hope it doesn't matter, at least. If it matters, that would be annoying. You think code instead of writing to the keyboard? I'd extend that to say, like, thinking in assembly even. Anyway. What is this? LEA BID tile. Okay. Okay, so it's been an hour. I could probably implement 2 more tiles, I think. I think this reg plus reg could be straightforward enough. Or we could like start looking at this slush pile. Oh, it just occurred to me I didn't... Oh, wait, something could really break here actually. I think I've made a choice that I've regretted somewhere already. I just realized. Let's make the displacement negative and let's see what happens. That's all stuff from game dev. Debug test or debug bin connect test input. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I've made a mistake here. I've made some mistakes. That's something I'll need to fix later, but so far this is fine at least. Doesn't matter which reg is base and which is index times 1. Yeah, I guess surely this is fine. If someone is using my stuff for Core 2, I feel like we have a larger problem to worry about than the correctness of code gen here. Yeah, it's because the problem that causes that giant number is I'm storing a lot of things as unsigned values, which, yeah, that might cause some problems around here. I need to figure out what to do with that. But that's all like middle and stuff for now. I think I'll dedicate like a week or 2 to that sometime in the future, but it's not a high priority until I get incorrect code output. Then it will become a very large priority. Is it as easy as just signing values? Maybe. I need to think about like how I want to do it. Because there's like a couple places where I store things as unsigned, and that causes problems everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, that is life. What am I doing here? Let's see. Let's do this one. Let's do that one real quick. Just reg plus reg. That should just be easy enough. Let's make a new tile. That should just be base plus index. Yeah, so we can kind of just steal this test. I don't think we particularly care about commuting this at all. So this is just BI. Okay. We're just gonna stick with the pre-commit test stuff. I don't know why I'm doing this like this. Or inspiration generate. Okay, cool. Funny watching people freak out about LLMs replacing software devs. Yeah, I mean, like it is very scary, to be fair. Like people will end up without a job, but yeah, the job market will always be good for the cracked. I cannot say it will always be good for the average, though. Favorite way to study for finals? Just locking in the night before. It's definitely not very reproducible, so I would not suggest it, but you could do it in theory. Okay, so that's the header. Let's steal that. I should probably just add like ASCII art for all the trees that I'm generating. That would be cool. Okay, so with ISD, it should go right after the binary op. Yeah, so right after here. Like testing yourself on everything or like ranking stuff you don't know. For me, I feel like just like going back through all the materials and like I guess trying to do like information recall, just like kind of thinking about what I learned in like each class pretty much, and then like taking a practice exam or two and then seeing how I do, and then just like doing touch-up work from there, maybe modifying the practice problems a little bit, so I can like generate more problems for myself. But again, studying is all like a very personal thing, so what works for me might not necessarily work for you. Thinking, deeply reflecting, I guess sort of. There is also I guess just like active learning broadly. And just like, yeah, I guess practice tests are probably the bulk of the work because that is like the most representative form of practice you can get relative to the exam. But before that point, I want to like at least do a little bit of preliminary studying to see what my shortcomings are. Yeah, I think it's tough to like condense knowledge down, I think, because you will inevitably like miss something with that. You kind of just, at least for me, I feel like I'm like, okay, I'm already good with like XYZ, I just need to like study W. So then I like spend a lot of time on W, and then I have everything. Always at least one topic when I miss. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how it goes. You kind of just get better at it if you're more like assiduous with it over time, at least. How long have you studied C, C++? That's a good question. I think roughly, this is hard math. I think 3 years now technically, but I haven't done like proper C, C++ work until like this past summer. So the real practical time, if you like take out all the time I've just been like doing Python stuff, is probably closer to like 2/3 of a year. Which is index times 1 and which is base sometimes costs you an extra byte of 0 displacement. But you only know that after regalloc. I see. Interesting. Huh. Okay, well, surely that will make no difference here. Anki, yeah, I think I know a couple people that use Anki, and they enjoy it a lot. So that could work. Like flashcards are also solid for just like rote memorization, I think. Okay, this is gonna be the funniest apply instruction that I write here. So, or not matches, we wanna put in here. Oh, I just copied it. Damn it. Okay. Let's steal that. Let's put that there. Okay, so displacement is 0, scale should be 1. And then we can just keep the rest. Yeah, this is a rather funny instruction there. Someone learn C++, start with a small program where brain goes, but the LM can just make better. I mean, your goal is to become better than the LLM, right? Like, if you asked an LLM to like just recreate what I'm making here, I think that might be a little bit out of its scope. RBP and R13 cannot be the base unless you also encode a displacement. Huh. Wait, that's a thing? Wait. Wait, is that a thing? That's crazy. Wow. Okay, wait, so I can... I will just make that a Rajalok issue, I think. I think that is what I will plan on doing. And we will spill some registers if it goes wrong. Do you see a future where you just steer the wheel and LM writes the code for you? Yeah, I mean, I think that's very possible, but that doesn't discount like the work you need to do in the present to learn theoretical stuff and also like learn how to write code without an LLM. I think like even if you need to steer it, you will also be doing a lot of code review, and it's like you're like taking on more of like a I guess a senior dev sort of role in the development process. And well, I don't think I would be happy if a senior dev did not know how to write a program and spot bugs. So that's my thoughts on that, at least. Okay, this is gonna be a very silly match, actually. We're gonna copy that. So we can start with that. We can get source. So if not that, or a reg source, get... Oh wait, we need a dynamic caster first. This is auto op. I guess we can do that, I guess. So if not op or op, get op is not equals middle and so if it's not an add, then we can return false. Doing math without a calculator. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think there's like two things I would say to that. The first is like, there will be instances where like you don't have access to an LLM, similar to like instances where you don't have like a calculator, or it's like more annoying to pull out a calculator. Like if you need a calculator to do like 7 plus 3, then like you're spending way more time than you need to on small problems, and that's like similar to like I guess the analogy to that, or the parallel to that in programming, would be like understanding the standard library for whatever language you're working with. Like you should know what tools are available at your disposal, and I think that is like an example in a similar boat as like an instance where it's inconvenient to pull out a calculator. Second, I think there is the issue of like LLMs not being deterministic in their output, at least from like the user side. So you need to like verify correctness, which, well, requires you to know what you're doing pretty much. So it can save you the handwork, but at the end of the day, someone still needs to review the code. Or a checksum function that I don't even know how to intellectualize in human words. Yeah, that happens. That very much happens. Learned C before C++, taught me a lot about memory and a bit of OS. Understanding implementations, C serves me well. Now I'm learning C++. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good take. That's kind of where a lot of my background as well lives. Or at least my take on like C versus C++ learning order. Tried coding with LLMs, rage quit because it misled so much. Yeah. I think like the Primogen keeps tweeting about how ChatGPT can't write merge sort correctly. Or like quick sort. Actually, let's see if we can write merge sort. Right, merge sort. Yeah, so it doesn't do it in place. This doesn't do it in place, so it's not really doing it correctly. Yeah, LLMs are very good at giving the most popular wrong answer as well, is the other thing to think about. Okay, let me lock in again. So we have the op, we want to cast both sides. So we want to steal this pretty much. BIS tile. Yes, both should be registers. So we can just copy paste this logic one to one. Okay, so then base is do that. And we can do index. Okay. That should be all we need there. And then the printing is fine, surely. Let's build. And then we can regen test, and then we are all happy. Oh, I forgot to add the tile. Ah, I forgot to add the tile again. Ah, I keep forgetting to do this. Ah. Okay, let's put it here, towards the bottom. How we can solve any problem is impossible. I just need steps. I haven't heard of this off the top of my head at least. Oh, this changes a lot of things. Okay, wait, let's... Wow, that actually changes a lot. Let's see. Oh, this makes me so happy, actually. This makes me so incredibly happy. Wow, okay. Yeah, I guess this makes a lot of sense, huh? Given the way that everything I have works. Use AI search, which runs on a Google search engine, helps to pull out necessary answer fast and review. Still questions you can delve further. That makes sense, yeah. I think like AI for like helping understand things is probably the best use of it, at least in its current state. So that seems like a pretty reasonable extension of that. Yeah, Stack Overflow is always really funny to read, at least. I can't say it's always helpful, but yeah. Okay, maybe I should add op levels for, or ops levels for this stuff. Yeah, so we are not adding things anymore, I guess, which fair enough. We can do it better. Oh, the halting problem. I see. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of that at least. Okay, so implement LEA BI tile. Okay, cool. So how much more time do I have here? I could probably do a little bit more. Or we did this one. Okay, we're going to replace a lot of multiplication, and it is gonna be really funny. Okay. So this goes back to the thing I was like talking about earlier in stream, where I'm trying to figure out like how to generalize all of the shenanigans the compiler pulls. So if we do like, so 10 is times 2 and then it's times 2 and then times 5. So we could do some of that. Does C++ have any type? Not quite. It has an auto type though, which I guess infers the type based on what you've written. Shift LEA. Oh no. Wait, there's so much to think about. I don't particularly want to handle that, I can't lie. That does not sound fun. Yeah, huh, that's tough. This is not gonna be fun. What extent do I want to cover here? 86, 64 LEA optimizations. Maybe there's something here. Yeah, I feel like IMO is like relatively fast nowadays. Like, or at least compared to like the past, it's quite nice. Like, oh. Okay, we might just go 0 through 9 and call it a day, honestly. I don't feel like doing a lot more. And we're gonna skip 7, because 7 is odd to me. 7 is very annoying. What EME address? Yeah. I think it should be load effective address. Yeah. So that's what the E is. 7 is odd. Good job. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, LEA is the compiler's best friend pretty much, because you can do so many things with it. I think I will just like generate some other tiles, but I think that will be the extent of like multiplication LEA tiles that I do. I think that's like good coverage of like the classics. I guess I could throw this in the list as well. I don't need to specify that one. Okay, and then other things we could do is just like reg times 1, reg times 2. We can just simplify those out in some capacity. Or maybe we can just assume that it's been canonicalized. I don't know. I guess we can't really assume that. Okay. Vibe coding a whiteboard code canvas IDE. That could be interesting, yeah. That doesn't sound very, I don't know, that sounds like a workflow nightmare to me, because like it reminds me of like macOS's like explode mode, where like it's like this if it were like 90 times more miserable to use, because like everything is like all over the place and you don't know like what is where. I imagine it'd be like the same thing, or at least that's how it'd turn out, sort of. What other non-LEA optimizations can I run here? I guess plus or like reg equals reg plus 1. Which times 2 may be legit. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Reg times 1 we should nuke. This could just be a move. Oh yeah, reg equals 0. Or actually no, we don't really have moves anywhere, huh? The joys of SSA. So this one can ink. And we can like do deck as well. Right. I guess those are like straightforward enough. Although those might just be easier to people. I don't know. Just like thinking about like runtime at least. Oh, he's in shortcuts. Oh, I guess that could be interesting, yeah. Yeah, I mean, feel free to go for it. That would be a pretty cool project, to be honest. Yeah, I'm out of interesting things that I can think of tiling right now, at least. Everything else kind of just falls into like stuff at the people optimizer level, I guess. Yeah, I guess we could even just move that here. I don't know. None of this really matters, honestly. We're doing a lot of good code gen anyway. Or at least good enough code gen. I can't say it's good. I'd also like to simplify the preamble / calling convention stuff. I could probably move that after regalloc in some way. We can reduce work or deduplicate work. Yeah, that might be the play actually, now that I think about it. It's a little bit insane to do calling convention at this point. Okay, I guess I could throw this one in real quick. That shouldn't be that bad. Yeah, we can cover one. I don't care. We can cover one. Okay. What did I do? Okay. So we have... This is just index scale, I believe. Yeah, this one's index scale, and then the other one I will call index scale. And this one be index scale displacement. It'll be a good time. So let's do that one. Compiler content? Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Okay, let's not make scale a thing there. Let's just do 1. Also, wait, some wires got crossed somewhere here. I can't really tell what, but some wires got crossed. I'm gonna leave it. Whatever, I'll fix that after. Let's just get rid of all these real quick. This is A. this is 4, this is 2. It's 8. Let's make a macro. Huzzah, okay. So we can do that. We can test all of these very straightforwardly. I fear some things might get nuked by the other tiles that I generate, but that'll be a future concern. Tell my friend there's a compiler rule and he asked, does that even exist? Yeah. Yeah, they very much exist. They're few and far in between, but they are quite necessary. Your Super Maven was left by Novum users and it wasn't too LM pushy. Interesting. That could be interesting. Good and bad news. The original dev of SR2 MP is quit for good. Oh. Full rewrite though, that's good. That is very good. Hopefully that cleans things up a little bit. I mean, there are people right now saying that like LLMs will we can trust LLM output like a compiler, and everyone else is saying no. People are very much saying no. Okay, this seems comprehensive enough for that. Okay. Still needs to write assembly, depends on context. Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. Okay, so this is our pre-commit test, I guess. Or let's run test version generate. We have LEAIS tile. Oh, I can't type. Whoops. Compiler does spare gatekeep. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to gatekeep low-key. I don't see what there is to gatekeep at least. Okay, let me lock in real quick. I should probably get this done within the next 20 minutes. When you have time, why don't you get DNSPy app, open up a game deal made with Hello to CPU and see what crap we deal with. That sounds scary. I could take a look eventually, but I've got a lot of stuff to do, so that might be a bit of a back burner project. Did I make the... I didn't make the tie. Okay, we can just copy this then. Okay, let's make that real quick. We don't care about displacement anymore, for that at least. Okay, let's steal all of this. Let's throw this smack dab in the middle here. Yeah, I'm just writing so much boilerplate. Okay, let's do the constructor real quick. Tile OM. Do that. This generation will be a little trivial, per usual. Yeah, I tried refactoring this pile last time. It made me go a little bit insane. So I have just decided this is just permanently gonna be a mess, and there's nothing that can be done about that. Okay. Index skills fine. This should be 0. You can keep all of that. Life is good. Okay. Now I just need to write match. What do I even match here? It's just a multiply, I guess. So can I just steal the BI stuff from up here? Yeah. Let's steal that. And then we just need to handle register stuff a little differently. Okay, do that. Source, we get the op. Instead of add, this should be mul. Okay, so we have left reg. Let's do the XOR hack thing here. That means the other one isn't immediate, so we can steal code from like one of these logic groups. But we can hack around it a little bit more. Sorry, I'll read chat in a second. I just need to like lock in here and just finish this up first. Okay. So we have left reg, right reg. We don't have displacement. Tile scale. Static cast to immediate. If left is a reg, we get right. Otherwise, we get the other. Remaining. Let's rename this. Actually, we don't care about that. Actually, we can just... What if we just tile... index here. Register node. That's the register node. Okay. Okay, we don't need to check any of this anymore. The only other thing we need to check, I think, is just if tile scale value. Actually, we could do this in a very funny way. Switch. Sort of like what we did before. Case, or we have, yeah, we can just do this. Actually, we can just get rid of that. Let's do that. Those are fine. Otherwise, we can return false. Life is good. We can return true here. Is this safe? This looks safe. That looks less awful, I can't lie. Somehow that looks less awful. Or I could just do that. That looks quite awful, actually. You know what? We'll just call it a day there, I think, for that. We will see what this turns into. Okay, let me look at chat for a second. The confidence level coding gives you, yeah, it feels great. It truly feels amazing. Like, just it feels like you do end up like feeling a little like one with the machine almost. Most of the successful devs I see online in my country don't even know what a pointer is. That's crazy. Yeah, let me take a look at the decomp stuff real quick. I'm getting pinged in 3 billion different places. One of these is useful. 2 of these are useful. Alright. Oh, that looks not fun. That does not look great to read through. Yeah, that's yeah, okay. That does not look like something I would want to work on in the future. And that's only one file? Wow. Yeah. Wow, that is tough. Wow, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if I were there and I had to keep doing this every time, I would also quit Loki. That does seem quite rough. Alright, let's see. Oh, okay, we're gonna wait for WSL to work again. See, maintained with another mod. Youch, yeah. Yeah, that one, that is quite rough. What is happening in the coding channel? Wait, whoa. Where did this Rust conversation show up? Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway. No, deep down that if I didn't code and see I wouldn't be coding. Yeah, that's like me with like, I guess the inverse of that for me. If I were coding JavaScript, I would quit very easily. Total has to be maintained. Malware has to work. Accessory which has mod menu and console. Yeah, that seems like a nightmare. And like all of that has to be redone every update, right? That is rough. Yeah. Okay, let's see how many tests changed. That's not good. Huh. What happened? Okay, so did I build? Yeah, I did build. So I ran the test generator and nothing changed. Huh. Yeah, I'm very happy with my workflow. I think that's part of what makes streaming just like really fun for me as well, because just writing code is fun. Alright, why is this not doing what I wanted to? Should be 1248 here. Oh, I keep forgetting to add the tile. Okay, so we have that. Base instruction, or base index, let's add. I imagine I could just put this here instead. It's like IS tile here. Update to the latest version as the last gift. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a lot of proprietary infrastructure. That seems rough to work with. Okay, did I just build it? I just built it. I have brain damage. I looked at chat for a second and I forget what I'm doing. Okay. Alright. Huzzah. Okay. Okay, so that's nice. That does everything I wanted it to there. Just a straight LE. That's pretty funny. I feel like that's something that just shouldn't exist, but here we are, I guess. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I think Vim defaults are generally reasonable. Line numbers are like the big thing in my head, at least. Line numbers and like indent size. I think with those changed, I think everything else is fine. And also, like, I don't really like NetRW, honestly. I think Oil and Vim does a world of difference for me. But yeah. It's pretty sane default wise, honestly. Color scheme I could deal with. Let's do a default Vim scheme. Oh, okay. Well, maybe some things I need to compromise on, but yeah, these are definitely some colors, huh? Yeah. And then like the NeoVim default's like alright, I think, right? Is this NeoVim default? I had a bind for... Yeah, I have a light mode bind. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, let's reset that real quick. But yeah, because like when I need to like present code, I can't like, it feels awful using dark mode to like present on like a projector, so I just use light mode for that. So I have a bind specifically for that, which is quite funny. Anyway. Commit add LEAIS tile. Okay, so then that means we finished this one. So these are the only ones we need to do. They should not be that hard. It's more of the same thing pretty much. We just need to like check extra cases. Yeah. That should be pretty fun. We've done like the basic versions of these already. We just did the basic version of this one here, and this one, the basic version's up here. So, yeah, okay. Anyways, now that I've turned on a flashlight for like 20 seconds for y'all, I do probably need to head out now. Let me push. Yippee. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you all so much for showing up today. Especially if you've been here for the whole 2 hours. That's a lot of time. And it does mean a lot to me that y'all are here, especially those of you that do spend a long time. If you haven't already, make sure you like the stream and sub to my channel. It helps out a lot with the algorithm, gets my content out to more people. Also in the description while you're down there is my Discord link. You should join that to get pinged when I go live and chat with the broader coding audience that I have, I guess. Also, we've been doing Advent of Code. It's a really good time. You should participate in that if you haven't, or if you're even remotely interested. At least join the private leaderboard. Also, feel free to add me on GitHub and LinkedIn to stay up to date with what I'm doing. Apparently my GitHub is like kind of broken. The widgets are like really dying on me. Yeah, so I might do like a rewrite with that like uses GitHub Actions to regenerate them. Anyway, that's about it. Take care, y'all. Take it easy, and have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are.